And here we go again. The Oklahoma City Thunder, the Minnesota Timberwolves, as the Western Conference Finals is presented by AT&T. And a sold-out Target Center on a gorgeous day in Minneapolis. And they've waited for their team to come home. It's a veteran squad, but they've got a work cut out for them against SGA, who's mic'd up for us tonight. Calm, cool, and collected, as tonight's starting lineups are brought to you by Popeyes. So OKC back on the road where they have excelled all season long. This great starting five, and of course, excellent depth for them as well. Meanwhile, as we mentioned, a veteran squad. They've had a lot of big playoff games over the past couple of years, and you expect a big-time response from this starting five. It's always so much fear.
When we talk about the intensity that you need, watch him track it down once, track it down again, and you are rewarded on the offensive end. That is multiple efforts for your leader, Anthony Edwards, helping his Minnesota Timberwolves take a 4-point lead early.
Timeout, OKC.
Oh, the three-point shot. It's been missing in the series for almost the entire Minnesota team. Anthony Edwards got him started. All season and in this series, they've conceded the corner three. They've had open shots. Dante, give him a little dap because he made one.
Tomorrow morning, the most famous race on the F1 circuit, all the glitz and glam of the Monaco Grand Prix on ABC once again. Pre-race coverage again, 7:30 a.m. Eastern with Grand Prix Sunday, and the race starts at 9 Eastern on 6 Pacific. You see the turnovers for the Thunder. It's Power Forward brought to you by Nissan. Richard.
It's the intensity from this Minnesota defense. You got the 4-time Defensive Player of the Year getting up in the passing lanes, helping to lead to transition opportunities. You see them just out in space. Look at the extra effort 2 times for Anthony Edwards, and he gets rewarded. They have forced 5 turnovers already here in this first quarter by OKC. That's the way Minnesota has to play and has to continue that intensity.
And that ends the first. It's the fewest points in a quarter this entire playoff stretch for OKC. And they're down by 20. Anthony Edwards explodes out of the gate. Minnesota up big.
Let's take a look at tonight's Star Watch, brought to you by Shopify. He's known as the Ant-Man, the next face of the league, maybe. In addition to his game, it's his outgoing personality that has led to his exploding stardom. He was the #1 prospect out of high school in Georgia, went on to be the #1 pick in the 2020 draft. Since then, he starred in the Netflix reality show Starting Five and the movie Hustle, produced by Adam Sandler. Last summer in Paris, Ant was a key member of Team USA that won gold, and now at age 23, he's playing in his 2nd consecutive Western Conference Finals. Mike.
All right, so by the way, another timeout. The Target Center is alive.
Boy, it is coming from absolutely every direction right now. Minnesota came out aggressive, consistent, looking very much like the defense they had been all year. And then on the offensive end, they are comfortable, they are downhill, and they are putting it to an historically great defense. I don't want to hear it, says Anthony Edwards. This is me tonight.
And that will end the first half. What a response from the Minnesota Timberwolves. The first half bludgeoning here in Game 3, led by as many as 35. And he got it going. 16 of his 20 points in that explosive first quarter. Minnesota playing with desperation. Huge lead here, halftime of Game 3.
The NBA Western Conference Finals, presented by AT&T, are brought to you by Google, proud sponsor of the NBA. And Marvel Studios' The Fantastic Four: First Steps, only in theaters July 25th. And don't miss Game 4 to see an exclusive look at the film.
Welcome back. Western Conference Finals presented by AT&T. Yes, that score is correct. Halftime, Game 3. 31-point lead for Minnesota. As we take a look at the first half stats brought to you by ServiceNow.
When you watch Rudy Gobert, when you watch this Minnesota defense, look at their pickup points. This is causing some attention. Even Conley getting in there, causing some confusion, some deflection. You see they're coming over. They're being more aggressive on SGA. But even there, you want to back up a little bit when he's at the three-point line. Maybe force him into a jumper. Allow him these more difficult shots. You can see that SGA is not as comfortable as he's been in the first two games.
Here's his shot chart, Richard, but think about this. First two games, when they double-team Shea, OKC was 14 for 18 off of. Mike, that's a different story tonight.
Just an incredible performance, Doris. I'm going to ask you a question. Exactly what Oklahoma City wanted. Cut into that lead in the first couple of minutes.
This is what we talked about. You asked, how do you build back in it? Even if it's not for this game, the momentum moving into the next game. This is what you want. Lou Dort knocking down a three.
ESPN Bet Sportsbook has you covered all playoffs long. Keep up with big-time matchups, get daily profit boosts, and tail exclusive picks from Stephen A. Smith. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Sign up with promo code HOOPS.
Timeout OKC. The lead's ballooned to 38. This crowd loving it.
What a response. Not happy, but he's saying, I'm a competitor, and my job is to come back and be a pro. And he's guarded extremely hard, which is a change from the first couple, and he is scoring at will right now.
Again, Nickeil Alexander-Walker with the left-hander. What a nice pass. DiVincenzo, he's got 0 on his back, but 3 in the bucket.
And that will end the third. All Minnesota here in Game 3. They're right back in this series. This presentation of the NBA playoffs continues after this message and a word from our ABC stations. This is going to be, and I will take a timeout. We'll see if we can request running time the rest of this one. 7:41 remaining. What a performance from Minnesota.
I think OKC might request that too.
The NBA Western Conference Finals are presented by AT&T. Connecting changes everything. In part by Burger King. At BK, have it your way. You rule. And Google, proud sponsor of the NBA.
A whistle and a timeout. Luke Garza is going to come in. Mark Daigneault's going to call one final, well, maybe not one final timeout. With 5:06 remaining here in the fourth. Tonight's Good Hands Play brought to you by Allstate. Doris.
What a collective effort defensively against the league's MVP, who had come in averaging 14.5 free throws in the series. You have to be ever present as a help defender. Rudy higher up off of those screens for Shea. You disrupt his rhythm, he makes some uncharacteristic turnovers. The chase from behind, and again, the step up by Rudy Gobert, who looks a little bit closer to the defensive player of the year historically. And this is the numbers tonight, Richard.
It's been impressive to watch, and I think that was what was so confusing in the first games, the games against Minnesota.
And it gets them within 2-1. And also, you love, it seems every time he does a post-game interview, he talks about his teammates.
Love it, Mike. He's trying to build the guys up around him. I love that.
Well, they'll get a chance to tie this up on Monday night. And again, we'll have it for you on ESPN. Coverage gets underway. NBA Countdown, 7:30 Eastern. Tip-off shortly after 8:30. But they are right back in the series. They'll be back at the Target Center Monday night. See if they can even things up. And how will OKC respond after one of their worst losses of the season? So the final score, 143 to 101. Our producer is Tim Corrigan, director Mike Schwab, our outstanding ABC crew, as always. Of course, for Doris, Richard, and Lisa, Mike Green saying, join us Monday night for Game 4. Coming up next on most of these ABC stations, your late local news. We say goodnight from Minneapolis. Thanks for watching here on ABC, home of the NBA Finals.